Hi, my name is Justin Wong, and I'm the Public Safety Coordinator with the 911 Dispatch Center here in San Francisco. Been a dispatcher for 14 years now. I spent a year trying to be a police officer in the middle of that, and then came back and found that dispatch is really where my heart is and where my home is. I think a lot of us just really want to be public servants. You try to give of yourself in the best way that you can. Dispatch is just really exciting. You're right in the thick of the middle of it, and you know things before anyone else does, and you have an important role in coordinating a response and sending the appropriate response and giving instructions to the callers on procuring information that really sets the stage for a successful outcome. And that's kind of fun and exciting. It's also kind of fun and exciting when all the gears are well oiled, like a well-oiled machine, and everything comes together perfectly on a call too. There's really two sides to dispatching. There's the call taking side and the radio side. And when we talk about call taking, that's the side that everyone thinks. Everyone thinks that that's where all the excitement is, and oh my gosh, you got the call about the baby being born, or you got the call about somebody needing CPR, or somebody whose house was burglarized. And you learn to do that, and you do learn to do that fairly well. You're speaking to somebody on the worst day of their lives, and you're trying to procure information from them and trying to give them a set of instructions when they're very distraught. But I think that the radio channel side is actually the more difficult side, and that's the forgotten side, because dispatchers are then juggling a radio channel with about 150 different police officers or firefighters or medics on it, and they're all fighting for airtime, and they all need to have their request processed. And sometimes you're handling that channel in the middle of a true emergency, like a vehicle pursuit or a foot pursuit or a resisting arrest. And those can be just as adrenaline filled for the dispatcher as it can be for the field unit. And at the end of the day, we want everyone to be able to go home safe. The dispatchers care greatly about making sure that everyone stays safe. San Francisco is unique because our dispatchers are universal. In many other large agencies, you have a group of people that work for one department that all they do is police dispatching. You have another group of people in another department that all they do is fire medical dispatching. You might even have a group that all they do is call taking, and they don't even work the radio channel. All of our dispatchers here in San Francisco are cross-trained, they're universal. So 1 hour they could be a call taker, the next hour they could be on a police radio channel or a fire radio channel. And that makes them the jack of all trades, which is really, really cool because they can handle, for instance, a call that requires both police and medical, like a really bad traffic accident, and wear both hats at the same time and give the first aid instructions at the same time that they are procuring vehicle description information and a description of what happened for the accident investigators later. So that's really cool that we get to do that. I think one of the things that surprised me when I first got into this line of work is how intense it can be. This is not a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 desk job. This is not a clerical job. The average dispatcher is taking between 14 to 17 calls per hour, depending on the shift. And that can be really, really stressful. There's almost always another call waiting that you have to race to try to help that person. And you try to race to them because that could be your family member, that could be your friend out in the community. And you need to make sure that you give them the best service you can as fast as you can. It's certainly something that you have to learn to cope with. I try to forget every single one of my calls as soon as I'm done taking them as a coping mechanism. But dispatchers have to learn to deal with stress in an ongoing high way. One of the things that happens is we talk about the stress for police officers or firefighters, and they go into their job and it gets really stressful at the beginning of their call, and then once the situation gets code 4, then it kind of dies down and they can wrap up that call. And then later on, when they get sent to the next call, that one might go back up with the stress level. For dispatchers, they come in walking through the door, the stress level goes through the roof, and it stays that way the entire shift. Their adrenaline is pumping because they're constantly done hanging up with one call, the next one's waiting for them, or the next call that they're juggling on the radio channel is another A priority that they're worried about scene safety or the safety of the citizens out there or the safety of the field units responding out.
So Justin, you're being recognized with the Toni Hardley Dispatch Supervisor of the Year award. What does that mean to you?
I am completely honored to hear and read these quotes from all of my colleagues. Touches my heart greatly. All I try to do is my best every day to support my colleagues. They deserve great support, and that's what I try to give them. And I always try to pay it forward. I'm grateful for the supervisors and dispatchers that looked out for me when I was a rookie dispatcher, and I try to pay it forward and give it to everybody else.